Hi there, Christina Catolo here with Cross Country Mortgage. So, in this presentation, I am going to talk to you about how to bring back affordability for homebuyers and how first-time homebuyers can enter the market and purchase a home in today's environment. So, if you're a homebuyer that was previously pre-approved back in, let's just say, 2021, and you had a hard time getting your offer accepted due to the challenging time, and you had to go in well over asking, and there were multiple offers and you're waiving contingencies, and if you were a VA or FHA buyer, it was nearly impossible to even get your offer entertained. I want you to pay attention to this because this is for you. If you are a home buyer that was pre-approved and you decided to put yourself on the sidelines or wait until interest rates come down because the high interest rates created a problem with affordability, and now you no longer qualify for what you did once before, or if you're a home buyer that thinks you need 20% down, thinks you need excellent credit and a 2-year job history, I want you to pay attention to this because this is information that's going to be very helpful for you. And you might be pleasantly surprised that you can purchase a home without needing all of those things that are very hard to achieve. So let's get into it. So right now, what we have is a problem, obviously, with high interest rates and elevated home prices. It's creating affordability issues that right off the bat. Okay. And on top of that, home buyers are not aware of the options they have with financing. So you are able to purchase a home with low down payments. You don't need to have 20% down. You don't need to have perfect credit, and you don't need to be at the same job for 2 years. So now, there's definitely a rule of thumb where you want to be employed for 2 years, but if you have a gap of employment, that's okay. There's a lot of scenarios where I've helped buyers purchase a home that did not have the same job for 2 years. In fact, a lot of people don't have the same job for 2 years. You don't need to have perfect credit. Actually, I've just pre-approved somebody today that had a 580 credit score. And you don't need to have 20% down. You can purchase a home with little as 3%. And in some cases, you don't need any down payment. So if you're a veteran, those are great loans. If you're a veteran, you should definitely take advantage of your VA benefits, especially right now where you would have opportunities to purchase a home without having those multiple offers situation. Sellers are willing to look at VA and FHA financing more so than they were before. And also there's down payment assistance for qualified buyers in certain income brackets and credit score requirements and debt to income ratios. So there are other options, but let's just say outside VA and down payment assistance, you're doing 3 to 3.5% down. And I want to let you know, if you are paying rent right now, I hate to break it to you, but you are paying a mortgage. It's just not your own. You're paying someone else's mortgage and you're building their wealth and their equity, which, listen, it's great we love tenants, so there's always investors looking to purchase and rent out homes. So there's nothing wrong with renting if you're not comfortable buying and that's just what you like to do. But if you are someone that's looking to own your own home and create your own equity and build your own wealth within real estate, then I just want to let you know that you're paying a mortgage, and you're not far from being able to do it on your own. And so right now, another problem we're having is that the media is scaring everybody, saying we're going to have a housing crash, and buyers are skeptical and they're, not sure if now is the time, if they should wait. And timing the market is not possible. You cannot buy at the most perfect time. There is never that time where you're going to get the homes prices at the lowest and the rates at the lowest. I firmly believe it's always good to buy real estate. There's never really been a bad time to own. Most likely, if you're buying a primary home, you're going to be in it. So it's okay if the values fluctuate up and down. And if you look at history, values have been going up. We saw a drop back in 2008, but ever since then, they've been going up. And interest rates remain low for decades. So we will see a drop in interest rates. And once that time comes, the buyers that purchased homes now will have opportunities to refinance once they drop and build that equity really quick. Because what happens is once rates come down, values go up. So I actually think it's a great time to buy right now. And so obviously with interest rates increasing rapidly, it's creating affordability issues for buyers, and you're having a hard time qualifying with debt to income ratio just because the interest rates have gone up. So something to think about: is it better to buy a house in a high interest rate environment or a high purchase price environment? So just something to think about. There's my advice is actually you buy when you're comfortable with the payment, but let's just see how these two scenarios pan out. So now if we look back over the last few years, you will see that the rents have pretty much increased consistently. We saw a little bit of a dip at one point, but for the most part, we are seeing rents go up, and they're spiking right now. They actually have increased quite a bit. We see a little bit of a drop, but they're still at all-time highs. Rents are extremely high, and I think the landlords are going to continue to raise rents. So we're seeing a little bit of a dip just because of the inflation. But again, once interest rates come back down and everyone's back to buying homes, you're going to see rents also go up. Okay, so now this is a graph that just outlines the last few years and what was going on in the market and in the economy. I took this from Redfin not too long ago, and so I want you to look back at 2020. You see the mortgage payments were roughly around, let's just say, $1,350 to $1,450, and home values at that time were skyrocketing. So you're building a lot of equity during 2020 and the pandemic, and then into 2021, payments with low interest rates were around $1,400 to $1,600. But if you look back, the job growth was very strong. So your income was going up faster than the mortgage payments were. So it was much more affordable. Now, fast forward to 2022, interest rates go through the roof and the values are still elevated. So now the more average mortgage payment goes from $1,600 to $2,500. So this is obviously a big issue, and this is why a lot of home buyers have been sitting on the sidelines and they are not entering the housing market because they're having an issue and they're not comfortable with the payments or they don't qualify. So we need a solution to the problem, and what we have to do is create affordability. I don't see it being a pricing problem. I see it being an affordability problem. So how do we create affordability for you so you can achieve homeownership and start creating wealth for your family? The solution today in this market is a seller paid rate buy down. And so what this does is it lowers a buyer's monthly payment so they can afford to purchase a home in today's market and beat the competition. Buyers are able to qualify for higher loan amounts and get into better properties in a price range that they want to be in and where they can find a home that suits their needs. And sellers right now are entertaining offers that are giving seller credits. They're entertaining FHA and VA, and they understand that there is an inflation problem and affordability problem, and the market isn't where it was last year. So it's a little bit more of a balanced market, where last year it was seller dominating and sellers ruled the transaction and negotiations and the contract. So sellers are willing to work with you. They are understanding the seller rate buy downs. And I'm seeing it happen left and right where they're providing credits to help a buyer buy down the interest. This strategy has a much greater impact on your monthly payment, on your savings, which is going to give you that buying power you need and also save you money so that you can purchase a home and be comfortable with that payment. So here's a scenario that I put together for a buyer I was working with. This is basically looking back from 2021 to now and into the future. So sources are saying, now we don't know what's going to happen. There's all kinds of opinions, but sources are saying that we're going to see interest rates at 10.5. And then we're going to see them drop, because when interest rates go up, the spike in rates, if you look at history, there's a certain amount of time that they last, and it's usually between 12 months to 24 months. So we will see a drop in interest rates, but just keep in mind when interest rates come down, the values go right back up. So you're then paying, you're back into a challenging, more competitive market for buyers. So let's just look at a scenario in 2021, a purchase price of $500,000 with 5% down. You're looking at a loan amount of $475,000. Now, the interest rate at the end of the year was actually a little bit lower than 4.5%, but I'm using 4.5% conservatively right now. The principal and interest would have been at $25.45. And so we'll talk about the savings for each in a little bit. Now let's fast forward to 2022. That same home is around $425 because that buyer lost buying power. So actually, I shouldn't say that same home. That buyer's price point is now at $425 because they lost the buying power due to the increase in rates. So interest rate based on today's average right now around 7.25%. Today's November 10th. So you're looking around 7.25% on a 30-year fixed loan. Principal and interest is $28.72. Now, if they go up to 10.5%, take a look at what the third column shows where it says predicted. If interest rates go up that much, the values are going to come down. So you're going to see, quite a big dip. That's great. But look at what happens to your payment. Your payment actually goes up further. So is it better to buy now or risk the rates going up further? Because then it just has that much more to come down. Or do you buy now and then wait for rates to come down? So if you take a look at the fourth column where it says future refi, let's just say that value went back up. That home you bought at $425 went up to $500,000 because interest rates dropped again. So now you built all that equity really quick. The interest rates are down. You already paid for the home at $425. So now you have the opportunity to refinance at a lower rate, and your payment, look at here, $21.77 is much lower than all of these other options. So it's actually better to buy right now at a lower price, because actually that same home probably is $425,000 because you were offering well over asking last year. So in fact, not only, you did lose buying power, but that home that you're looking at, at $500 in 2021, you can get for $425 right now. So you're buying a better price at a fair interest rate, knowing they're going to come down. And on top of that, we can utilize the seller buy downs if it worked out where the seller was providing a credit. So you can build that equity really quick, reduce the rate once you can refinance, drop your payment, and look how much you're saving. So you're going to save a lot of money over let's just say a 5-year period, $98,000 you're going to save on a refi. It's going to cost you the most if rates do go up. And then right now, so you're going to save on the 2020 versus, you're going to lose a little bit for a short period of time versus last year, but you can't go back in time. We're not there anymore. This is where we're at. And it's either going to go to here or it's going to go to there. So what are you going to do? You're going to buy it at a good price and then refi later, or are you going to wait for prices to come down, go higher in interest rate, and then you're just losing out all that money, and you never know when they're going to come down from there. But anyway, this is just something to think about. Timing the market is a fool's game, whereas time in the market is your greatest natural advantage. Nick Murray quoted that. Okay, so now I just want to touch really quickly on the different loan options we offer. So we offer pretty much everything that's available in the industry other than land loans right now. And a few, we don't do hard money, but we do have FHA, 3.5% down. We have conventional loans with 3% down. We have VA loans, which is 100% financing. We also have jumbo loans, bank statement loans, investor loans. I will be doing another video separate from this touching on the different loan options we have. But that's just a little high overview. And then the different property types we work with are 1 to 4 unit properties, condos, single family homes, duplexes, 3 to 4 units, townhomes, and then the occupancies, primary, secondary, vacation homes, investment properties, and rental properties, including Airbnbs. So that's just a little bit on the different loan options we have available. So you don't need 20% down or perfect credit. It's very possible to purchase a home. And I've worked with all different scenarios. So I'm happy to go through yours and at the very least help you find out what you qualify for the future and put you on a path for when you are ready. And if you are a seasoned investor or you are, looking to purchase another home, also have great loan programs, and I'm happy to go through those with you. So I hope you found that helpful and informative. If you have any questions, here's all my contact information. Feel free to reach out. Email is the best way to get a hold of me throughout the day because I am on the phone and in meetings, so I do respond to emails quicker. If you leave me a message, I will respond to you before the end of the day. Thank you and have a great day.